Hello, my name is Thomas Pulser, and this is part 2. Where I left off, I was jumping over the booking desk inside the police station to punch that police officer in the face, which I did. And there's a few others in the room, and then they called in some more. I think it took 11 of them total. Something like that, or at least there's 11 of them in the room, I think. But they ended up hog-tying me, hands to my feet behind my back, and they threw me into a cell. I remember bouncing in there on my belly, and they left me like that for a good 14 hours. So the moral of that story is it doesn't matter how many police you can take, it matters how many they're going to use, and they're going to use as many as it takes. All right, after that, another story with a short one. After that, on New Year's Eve, I decided to, run from them on a motorcycle in Wisconsin. And it took them 12 miles to block me in and catch me, but they did. The speedometer on the bike said I was doing 128, but it was in the winter, sunglasses, New Year's Eve in Wisconsin, so it was about 20 degrees. Had my cousin on the back. Her father was hella mad. I wasn't allowed over to their house for 6 months. Anyway, so the moral of that one is, Motorola is very fast. Motorola is very fast. Anyway, after that, I had, besides the courts mandated me to a 1-month inpatient, and I got released on my 18th birthday. I was finally legal to drink, but stayed sober. I went to bars every night. It was, I was working 3 to 11 at a paper rewinding place. I was a machine operator at Black Clausen. Anyway, I got to do this really quick. This is my second one. I made my first one today was an hour, and the phone went uploaded, wouldn't do anything. So I deleted it. Anyway, you can have fun sober. I went to bars every night. I competed in and won, 3 jockey short contests in Wisconsin sober, and a couple in California, but I wasn't sober in California. Anyway, so you can do that. You can be the designated driver. It's easy. I guess you can hustle pool or whatever. Anyway, there's benefits. I found currently, what I say if someone asks me if I want a beer, I just tell them my off switch is broken. I really don't want to get started. And for the people who know me, that's, even the ones that don't, actually, that's fine. It's a pretty good answer. Anyway, so you can have fun sober. I've ridden across country twice on a motorcycle. First time was back in '84, I believe. I left Wisconsin in November. It was 0 degrees at noon with a clear blue sky. I rode 2,800 miles in 3.5 days. Froze my freaking tail off, but I did it. Anyway, I don't recommend that one. I had I had a lot of fun in Phoenix. Went down there. I got myself homeless down there, and in order to get myself out of not being homeless, I took a job doing insulation. But for me to, too proud to call home or ask home for help or anything, and I got myself in a predicament where I didn't have a vehicle and I didn't have a roof. But I got this job, but the job was insulation, and I'm like, there ain't no way I'm installing insulation in 120 degree weather and not have a beer. So I applied, got the job, which was $5 an hour a piece, whichever was greater, and did that. Within a month, my first paycheck I bought a $5.50. Second paycheck I got a studio for $75 a week with all utilities, everything furnished. Cool. Then the following paycheck, I upgraded the motorcycle. I traded the 550 in and got a 750 with a 900 kit. So in a 1 month period of time, I went from homeless, sleeping under a tree, sober, to drinking again, and I had my own place. I was making now $20 an hour, and I had a motorcycle, all bought and paid for, and free and clear. And I was like, well, I'll never quit drinking again. And I got into more trouble. Fines, time in jail. Did have fun. There's one of the places I lived down there had a swimming pool, and we had dancers, topless dancers. Told them they could come over and use the pool in our backyard. We had an 8-foot fence while we were at work, and that was cool. It wasn't bad coming home from work and seeing 6 strippers in your backyard, topless, sunbathing. That was all right. Anyway, which brings me to, I guess, a tip for the ladies. Don't refuse sex to try and manipulate your boyfriend or husband or whatever. It will only cause you problems. He will either, leave you or cheat on you or something. I think that's why prostitution has never died. And on top of that, you'll end up insecure, and in other words, nothing but problems. So, and I use the word manipulate. It means the same thing as influence, but in that particular situation, I think manipulate fits it better. Don't do it. Bad. Nothing good will come from it. Anyway, to try and hurry this up. Right, I did a bunch of drinking. I've, thrown in jail. I've been without a license for like 15 years of my adult life. Paid thousands of dollars in fines. I've spent a few years in jail. Anyway, I've had a number of different jobs. I ended up, after all of this, homeless at about 40 years old. I think right before I turned 40, I ended up being homeless and sleeping in my van. And I basically just partied for like 5 years for the most part. Anyway, in there I had my back broken, and due to a motorcycle accident, because the guy I was working for asked me not to have a beer before coming to work in the morning, and then didn't like it when I came in upset. So he sent me on an errand, and some guy pulled out in front of me. It was completely his fault. Oh, here's another point to that. I was bought the motorcycle from a guy. I'm making payments on it. I think paying for the bike in 3 payments. That Friday was my last payment. The following week I was going to get insurance. I didn't have insurance. This other guy came out. It was 100% his fault. I was unconscious for 6 hours. I broke my top 2 ribs, 6 vertebrae. Hurt really bad pretty much for a year. I mean, it took me 2 hands to drink a 32-ounce beer for 4 months before I could do it with 1 hand. And my attorney, I think Paul Kemp, he was still able to get my hospital bills paid, and I think I got $5,000. Although he said had I had insurance, he could have got me $120,000 because of the severity of my injuries. So here, my point is, if you're going to ride a bike, get insurance before you do it. Or don't ride without insurance, especially in California.